In the mid-60s, he, as a young man, had decided that he wanted to get away from it all, and he had arranged that he would operate a trading store in McLoed. He nearly lost his life a few times trying to get the vehicle in because the side slopes were such that the vehicle wanted to turn over. Matthew didn't make it as a trader. And in the intervening period, the track along the Senklu that he had brought the vehicle in on had been washed away. And so the vehicle was marooned. And he sold it to the chief, who apparently abandoned it when it ran out of fuel. And that's the last Matthew knew about it. We became aware that there had been a sort of treasure hunt for the Series 1 in 1969, 1970, thereabouts. People realized that there's a free Land Rover to be had as long as you can get it out. And we were silly enough to go and get it out. In 1993, a good friend of mine contacted me and said that he had found a Series 1 Land Rover in a shed in this remote, inaccessible village. So I looked at the maps of Lesotho with him, and I realized this place, you can't get there except by airplane. We set off by air to go and explore their thing with bicycles and friends who were as enthusiastic or young and dumb as we were. I first found one of the windows and then the diff as the school bell. And we were sort of like getting warmer and warmer. And then I found the shed. It was up to its axles in goat poo. And he sold it to me for $200. We knew from having cycled that we would never be able to tow the vehicle out. The road is just washed away, it's trashed. We wanted to scope out the northern route because our reconnoitering to the south had been fruitless. We could see no way to get a vehicle out that way. It looked possible, although a little, sketchy. Then we walked out. That's what took us to the third trip. And then we flew in again. When we arrived at the airstrip with the 4 tires, we couldn't fit them into the door of the Cessna. And I roared off to Doc Seymour and I said, Doc, I need your Jaguar's tires. And then with these low profile tires, they fitted into the airplane. The chief, he was there and he, true to his word, had organized auction for us. I said, let's take the roof off the vehicle. If anything goes wrong, I can jump off the vehicle. On a Series 1, that's only 4 bolts. See? So we just tossed all of this stuff in the back. So it was very free and airy. Badger, come here, you're ruining the blooming thing. Sit. Good. With the help of about 20 people in that village, we pushed it out and we shackled the chain onto the front and started pulling it through the lands. And it was going tremendously. All the people were going next to us and there were cowbells and it was idyllic. Until we got to the first pass. All of a sudden there was just this pistol shot as the chain snapped. I was accelerating tremendously fast and I realized there are no brakes, I'm gonna die here. I launched my soft carcass onto some very hard rocks and I watched this dream of mine just bouncing down the mountain and throwing the doors and the roof out as it went. it just slewed to one side and capsized and came to a halt on the edge of the precipice. And it seemed fine. There was hardly any damage to it. And we descended the pass, and it was all happiness and joy until we got down to the river. For 2 or 3 kilometers up that riverbed, they basically plowed us all the way up to the campsite. At about that time, all the mana arrived to rescue the vehicle. The job had already essentially been done. And the vibe was tremendous, and we had a big campfire. It was a happy time. And they helped us drag the vehicle over Matibeng Pass and back to KwaZulu-Natal. And we went home. You know, I think one of the things about going out way beyond your comfort zone is that you've got to trust the person that's with you, absolutely. And we've been in a lot of tight spots. You're really blessed if the Lord gives you a companion that is on the same wavelength and is having a ball when you're out there. Shortly after we'd rescued Jemima, we went on an ice climbing trip in the Andes. I actually had a weak moment, and she just hauled me up the last bit of that mountain to the top. And I realized, this is the woman for me. As I came to the top, I said, "Next," and we were on exactly the same wavelength. And she said, "Yes," straight up. I didn't even need to ask her the question. And so we agreed to get married then.
The front.
It's all good.
Thanks, my man. Huh? Yeah, that's good.
Jemima had some serious mechanical problems. We stripped Jemima to absolutely every last nut and bolt. When I took the drain plug out of the main gearbox, red dust came out, and I had expected oil. Restoring Jemima was, in today's terms, exceptionally cheap. It was quite a miracle that we managed to do it so cheaply, but we didn't have much money in those days. I had to source second-hand parts from other Series 1 enthusiasts and make some of them on a lathe. I slaved deep into the night with my wife complaining just a little, and it took us about 3 years. I finished restoration when my kids were about 3 or 4, and Jemima formed part of our family on a whole lot of expeditions for the kids and teaching them to drive. You're making notes, Nick?
Yeah, because we're going to forget this stuff.
Oh, I thought we'd already forgotten it.
We're remembering. Some people say it's silly, like, you people are mad. But look at how much fun we've had. Fun A is like it's all amazing fun while you're having it and it's brilliant and you're not suffering so much, just pure fun. And fun B is different. Fun B is
You suffer.
you suffer, you dig deeply, you pay school fees, you got scars and blood. But afterwards, the stories are the best.
Jemima is now 69 years of age. She's going beautifully, but she's looking a bit ragged. I've been blessed. I've ended up with 2 Series 1s. I work with an old guy called John. He always says to me, these vehicles are getting newer and newer every day.